Non-draft related breaking news in the NFL. The Eagles and A.J. Brown agreeing to a 3-year, $96 million extension that will keep him in Philly through the 29 season and make him the highest paid receiver by annual salary in league history. Brown spent the past 2 seasons with the Eagles after being traded from Nashville to Philly in 2022. Chris Hassel, Brady, Quinn, Bryant, McFadden. All right, they just inked Devontae Smith earlier in the month to an extension. B-Mac, you were saying that this doesn't make a ton of sense to you, the timing here. Why?
Because he was getting ready to be in year 3 of his new deal that he signed in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, once being traded by...
He had 3 years left.
Yeah, three years left. So the timing clearly was, I'm surprised, great for him as an individual because he got new money within a 3-year span of being with the Philadelphia Eagles. But when you look at what they also need to improve their team in other areas, and not to mention, you just read up Devontae Smith. I think he's getting around 25 or 26 million per year, and now A.J. Brown's getting 32 million per year. You're talking about north of what, $50 million per year to 2 guys that play the same position. So clearly Howie Roseman has a game plan in place, but I'm a bit surprised. But we know he swiped everything Philadelphia Eagle related off his social media. That's the first sign of a player being disgruntled.
Yes, it worked.
And guess what happens a few days later? You get a new deal.
I think what's fascinating about it is, to your point, the roster construction by Howie Roseman, who obviously knows what he's doing. He's put together an extremely talented roster for the Eagles time and time again, and it is taking up a large amount of the salary cap. However, that just goes to show you how healthy this league is right now. And we're obviously expecting big salary cap increases in the future years, too. So they know they're going to have enough room. I'm questioning more, though, the fact that it's draft night. So, of course, we get an A.J. Brown news of some sort. 2 years ago, he got traded to Philly. Now he signs an extension, a big-time one, even though we didn't think it was necessary. That being said, kudos to him and his agent. $32 million average annual value per year, the most for a wide receiver, the most guaranteed at $84 million as well. And so if you're CeeDee Lamb, if you're Brandon Ayuk, if you're any of these wide receivers that are out there that are looking to re-up, like, this is now the benchmark. Yeah, you're calling your agent saying, hey, you see what A.J. Brown just got? Yeah. Like, that's what I need to surpass.
And Brady, just yesterday we were talking about St. Brown with him getting, what, $30 million per year as the average yearly salary. A.J. was like, no, just be patient. I'll do one up on that one. Now he's getting 32. So the wide receiver market has been inflated dramatically. And to your point, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, and what about Justin Jefferson?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and who's going to be the quarterback throwing in the ball if he remains in Minnesota?
Yes, sir.
Eagles have the 22nd pick. What is their biggest need in the draft?
Defense. I would say you talk about the secondary in particular, cornerback. That would be the position that I would target the most. Clearly, it's not going to be wide receiver. You might want to think about offensive line. Maybe we've seen some people talk about that, but it's defense, it's cornerback. Their secondary needs help.
Yeah, secondary was an issue with injuries and just inconsistent play. And you're in a division where the Dallas Cowboys, even though they have some contract issues, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, they will be a part of their team this year. And look at some of the pass catchers for the Washington Commanders as well. So find a way to get that defense together in the secondary so the guys in the front, in the first level, can do what they can do, which is put pressure on quarterbacks.
Brady, a year ago at this time, a lot of people were really high, sky high on Jalen Hurts after he almost led them to a Super Bowl. He was great in the Super Bowl. Bad second half of the season. Where are you with him?
Still high on him. I thought the biggest thing that the Eagles struggled and what we kind of probably overlooked was the fact both coordinators move on. You have to make some decisions and hires there, and it didn't work out. And in particular on offense with Brian Johnson, who's put in a tough spot, being a first-time play caller in that particular role for the Eagles, didn't go well. So now that you bring in a guy in Kellen Moore, who has got a ton of experience, he's put together explosive offenses, and I think he's going to utilize Jalen Hurts, who hopefully will be healthy too, because that's the other thing. It's not just the fact that it's a new offense, but it's the fact that he wasn't healthy last year in the second half of the season. He was so banged up. So get him back healthy, better offense with Kellen Moore, much more experienced play caller. And with all these weapons now, sky's the limit.
And with that being said, more pressure on Nick Sirianni to get the job done. Just 2 years ago, he was in the Super Bowl, one of the best teams in the NFL. We saw a debacle towards the second half of the season last year for the Eagles. We talked about the talent. You still can add more talent throughout this weekend's draft. He got to get the job done, because if he does not, you know how the fans are in Philly.
Yeah.
Well, they just extended A.J. Brown through the 29 season. He'll be the highest paid receiver, at least for now, per year. And Devontae Smith just got his new deal earlier in the month, a 3-year, $75 million deal. And they also had extensions on the offensive line, a tackle and guard as well. Eagles and Cowboys are the co-favorites to win the NFC East as of right now. It'll be interesting to see how odds change because of what we see in the draft tonight, tomorrow, and this week.